What do you want people to say after they've eaten at MERTIA?
That's a hard question. Obviously, I want them to enjoy it.
That's why I'm asking.
I think, yeah, 100%. I think not so much what I want people to say, but what I want chefs to say. I want this to be the restaurant that chefs think is the best restaurant. Hopefully, guests always enjoy it, but I think chefs really understand what we're doing, and that maybe they connect a bit more with in terms of where we think we are, what kind of food we're serving. If they could come to the restaurant and say that this is their favorite restaurant, then that'll make me the happiest.
I love that.
The whole idea of MERTIA is to have a refined experience, but where it's relaxed and you don't have to feel like you're forced to eat this in a certain way or eat this course. And I mean, if you come a little bit late, we'll make a plan, you know. We're here, we're working, we're not going to leave anyway.
We're not leaving.
We've got work to do, so we've got other guests as well. So as long as we can adapt, you know, we'll do it.
So what would make this conversation meaningful for you?
Putting a spotlight here just to make sure that I think the restaurants, the quality of restaurants we get here, the price point people are paying for it, I think some of the restaurants, not all of them, are really pushing boundaries in terms of, you know, pushing against some of the top restaurants in the world. So I think any spotlight on South Africa, bringing more people to South Africa to kind of educate them on what it is like to live here, what it is like to eat here, and what we offer in terms of like the food scene.
And, you know, obviously with 50 Best and other accolades coming, you know, it uplifts everybody. I mean, I think it's a win for the whole region, but many of them have said they really feel like, you know, the global world is really just discovering and sort of scratching the surface at the potential that South Africa has, in this specific region of South Africa has, in giving to the global world on a culinary scene.
Like there's quite a few South Africans on the list, and they're pioneering the way for, you know, the rest of the younger chefs. Like myself, we've just opened the restaurant, not more than a year old yet. I mean, 11 months tomorrow. So, for us to have the chefs that are pioneering for us, one day it'd be nice to be one of those pioneers, obviously, but that's a long road ahead. But to able for them to kind of lay the pathway now so that South Africa becomes a destination for, I think Cape Town just got voted best dining destination. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Condé Nast, exactly.
No, it's amazing.
And I think we are getting there, and I think we need strong restaurants and, you know, just people telling their stories based on
the momentum. The momentum
exactly.
really feels like
it
feels like it's been there. But from what I've been hearing from other chefs, they're like, we're really just getting started with what we can offer. You know, the world.
And I think the most of the tourists, all the guys that come visit us, is like all going to fine dining restaurants. But if you look at our street food, you look at our everyday restaurants, I think the quality of our food on a basic level is a lot higher than a lot of places in the world.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we talk about on this show. It's all about community building. So, you know, I love what's happening here, and that we can be a part of, and even in a small way, a little bit of that momentum, you know, forward, and a little bit of that discovery. What's been the biggest learning lesson in the past 11 months?
I think challenging myself to be open-minded in terms of, you know, staff, produce that's available, pushing the creative boundaries. I enjoy that side probably the most, but you know, I think in terms of like just really knuckling down in terms of learning experience was obviously opening MERTIA, but along with that, all the staff. Everyone's got issues at home, especially in South Africa. We've got such a diverse culture, so everyone's comes from different backgrounds, and kind of finding ways to piece that together, making sure that, you know, the team's happy, and making sure that we try and include everyone in the menu. So I work quite closely with my sous chef and the team if they've got ideas for the menu to showcase some of their background. I've got a new pastry chef who's just been promoted, and I'm pushing her to do a bit more food that she feels more relatable to.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day,
that guava dessert was incredible.
Awesome. Yeah, she started. And Army's amazing. Yeah,
that was good.
That's a good flavor. It's a good flavor combination. Those two.
Yeah.
Like staff-wise, amazing. I got a great team, and just being able to watch them grow. So in the beginning was hard when we started with the team. It was a very small team. I think we had 4 or 5 of us in the kitchen, and we just opened. And obviously we all had quite a lot of pressure on ourselves because we wanted to do well, and managing those expectations of ourselves as well as the pressure that we put on ourselves. And watching the team grow from there, it's been amazing.
What makes this partnership?
What makes this partnership, Marais?
What makes this partnership meaningful and work?
I think our vision is aligned of showing South Africa about how accessible and how, what's the word I always use, unintimidating fine dining can be, and how you should be excited to enjoy this food and arts. And it's not something that you have to suit up and tie for. It can be comfortable, it can be easy, but it can be fun yet formal. It can be tasty, but you can still have something familiar. It's for everyone. It's really for everyone.
Yeah.
I just think that we both got a similar vision in mind of where we see the dining experience, whether it's the food we're eating, whether it's the way we make people feel in the restaurant. We communicate really well, and we just got, I think our vision aligns in terms of where we see ourselves in the future, and the way we want people to feel in the restaurant.
I love that. I asked you something earlier, and I've been asking a lot of chefs and hoteliers as I've been here. How would you define South African hospitality?
I'm going to quickly tell a story before I get to the hospitality in terms of the
we
restaurant.
love stories. We love stories.
I was recently overseas, probably what was my bucket list destination, Japan. Loved it. The hospitality in Japan is incredible. Food is amazing. We were there for 2 weeks, and like on the couple of last days, me and my fiance were like, we just miss home, because when you come back to South Africa, there's a warmth about everyone. Everyone's super approachable. Everyone's super, friendly, kind, happy to be doing what they're doing, really appreciating the people around them, as well as really just enjoying it when guests come to the restaurant. They have fun because the guests are having fun, and they know that, we're putting spotlight on South Africa. The more people come here, the more people enjoy it, the more people are going to keep coming. So kind of on the same thing, rolling on that momentum, knowing that if people come to South Africa and have a good time, they're going to tell their friends and family, and they're going to be able to serve more people, create a bit of that momentum in terms of having South people and put South Africa more on that global map. So I think the warmth is South Africa is what is, I think, the authentic warmth that comes from South Africans is what really highlights us on the hospitality side.
I love that. Where else in the world are you pulling inspiration from? And then how does it translate to the ingredients and the richness that is so abundant here in South Africa?
So I think it depends on what's fresh in your mind. Obviously, people draw inspiration from their travels abroad, their experiences in life, whether they've grown up in South Africa or abroad. I was trained French in Cape Town. I spent time working at Test Kitchen with Luke, and Luke had a lot of experience in like Pan-Asian style food, but he had his own twist, and he's British, so he brought a British twist into it with a bit of that classic, wouldn't call it fusion, but it was more like his experience of places he's worked at. He spent a lot of time in Korea, Philippines, so he brought that kind of Asian influence that South Africa hadn't really seen before. Obviously, he's my mentor, so I learned everything from him. Not just him, but I think he was the most influential because I was a student at the time, and looking up at him is like the godfather of cooking in South Africa, and I think many people will agree. I think in terms of the rest of it, I think I enjoy that side of a bit of the Asian influence, or Japanese as well. But I think predominantly I look at what we've got available here and see the produce we've got here, and obviously I've got to underline classic training, so I use a bit of that as well as some ingredients. And then I think the big thing for me is a nostalgic approach with things that I mentioned authentic earlier, is that I want to be authentic. I want to feel like I'm serving food that I can relate to, that I enjoy. So I think first and foremost, we at a restaurant, we're serving food, so the food's got to be nice, and it's got to be something that that I believe in. And if I don't believe in it, then I don't think it's not going to come across as authentic. So, for example, the Wagyu dish with the little curry on the side and the steam bun, that's inspired by, I think they obviously know the story, but it was the drinking a bit too much at a bar when you're a student studying in Stellenbosch, stumbling down, and you go to like the little corner shop, buy a samosa, So I think people that have studied in South Africa or even in Stellenbosch or grown up here, you connect in terms of more than just the explanation or just a few tasting good, but a bit of that nostalgia. I remember that, that's a fun memory,
I know it's seasonal, but maybe just give an overall highlight of some of the key dishes, just so our audience can you can sort of whet the palate a little bit of some of the key dishes that you've served over the course of the last year, maybe.
A dish that I've been working on, I think it's really tasty. It's tuna, beef fat, and rhubarb. Got a really good connection with a seafood supplier. I played water polo. I played sport water polo against him when we were at school. Then we studied together, and then we met. We were kind of separated slightly, just not crossing paths in a while. And then when I rolled at chef school, he was also there, and we were like, "How's it?" His dad owns a company he recently started working for, and we chat quite a lot about what produce available. Tuna's in full swing now. until about March, and I'm getting some tuna from them, but we break the whole tuna down, and we use every part of the tuna from the otoro, the belly, to the lean tuna, as well as the bones and the marrow. So I'm quite excited about that. We're gonna have like a little tuna bone with the tuna marrow with a bit of soy sauce and like a smoked lemon salt.
Wow.
It goes on, have it like a shooter before you indulge in like the dish with a bit of the tuna, tarragon, chives, beef fat dressing, as well as like a rhubarb dashi. So I'm quite excited about that, yeah.
Incredible.
And then some of the dishes you guys had tonight, our signature, I think, well, I say our signature because we kind of dubbed it that now ourselves, but it's only been 11 months, but a dish that people are really enjoying is our hen's egg, the MERTIA hen's egg.
Yeah.
Just really classic flavors that work well together. A little custom ceramic egg made by a local ceramicist in Cape Town called Sean, or her name is Sean, and classic flavors that work really well together. A little bit of potato, truffle, and egg, and just lightly smoked, just to add a nice aromatic note to it.
I love it. Someone who's thinking about coming to South Africa, coming to Stellenbosch, exploring this beautiful region, what would you say to them?
Embrace it, you know. South Africa, especially Stellenbosch the region, it's almost like a little mini Europe in South Africa. So we've got everything super small, everything's super close by. We've got too many wine farms, which is a great thing. So I'd say enjoy the wine farms, don't drive, because you obviously will be drinking. And just embrace the restaurants, walk on the streets, pop in here and there, go to all the small shops. And obviously enjoy the food and I mean, you don't have to do fine dining in Stellenbosch. We've got great fine dining options in Stellenbosch, but I think what really, the centre of town's also got a couple of really amazing restaurants, you know, that are a little bit more relaxed, aren't as fine dining. There's some really awesome bars. Chat to the locals. I know South Africans are friendly. All the South Africans, if you see them at a bar, say hi to them and they won't stop talking to you for the rest of the night. So I think embrace the culture. Go have a brandy and coke at the Agga, because that's like the most iconic thing I think that we do. Pretty much every Saturday night it's like a little team briefing there. We go have a brandy and coke at the Agga, which is the oldest pub in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
And just chat to people, embrace the culture, enjoy the food, enjoy the conversation as well.
I love it. Yeah.